Hey friends, welcome back. This one is another mountain bike episode. First thing I got to show you is some of the stickers on my laptop that I've been collecting as I go along. It is relevant. All right, so we've got my Tabasco sticker from Avery Island a few episodes back, episode 12 I think it was. Oh, my dog petting champion sticker, which is really not true. My friend Julie is the dog petting champion. She is excellent at petting dogs. And then this episode, the one I wanted to show you is Let's Play Bikes, because it just sort of captures the fun of going out and playing on your bike. And my goodness, did we find that in Hurricane, Utah. So I think our stop in Hurricane was maybe the best biking I've ever experienced in my life. We also had some amazing free campsites we've got to show you. So stick your jeans inside your socks so they don't get caught in the chain. Let's go for a ride.
The area around Hurricane for biking came as a recommendation from our friend Brent. Again, thanks for that. We had a great time. And as you can see by Craig, he really enjoyed the trails. As well, it lucked out. We kind of had a few nights free between when we were at Bryce and when we were going to Zion. So it just worked out perfectly. Hurricane is right near Zion National Park.
Now, the one thing that we weren't sure about was where we were going to stay, and this is where one of our favorite apps came in handy yet again. We use one called iOverlander, and this is a free app. It's a great resource for us to find dump stations, to find free campsites at Cracker Barrels, at gas stations, or in this case, a site called a BLM site. Now, Holly, what is a BLM campsite?
So BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. It's a department in the U.S. government, and they own and manage public lands. And a lot of these public lands are for recreational use. So you're allowed to camp on them. Sometimes there's a time limit of about 14 days. Usually there's very little infrastructure, and usually there's no cost. And sometimes there's pit toilets, maybe a fire ring, but generally it's just kind of a space in the desert, and you can go and camp there.
So here's a couple shots of the amazing free campsites that we had, and both of these were right adjacent to the bike trails that we wanted to ride while we were in Hurricane. So we really lucked out there.
The first trail system that we did was Hurricane Cliffs. This was an area that's kind of lower elevation. It was right close to our first night of camping. It was wide open, so it was a little bit hot and warm as we had arrived kind of mid-afternoon, but it was still really nice and a unique landscape. The other thing we did is we stopped at the bike shop over the edge, and they were super great there, and they told us about a group ride they were doing the next day at Guacamole. So we joined them for the group ride the next morning, and this was fantastic. They were a great group of riders, super encouraging. It was great to follow them through kind of the rocks and learn how they did some of them. So great time with them. We don't have a lot of footage from that just because we were busy riding, but you'll have to take our word for it that it was a great place to ride.
Now, day 3, I think, was probably the best day of riding I've ever had on a bicycle. This was in an area called Gooseberry Mesa, and I found that the challenge of the trails just suited us perfectly. We couldn't clear all the obstacles, but you never got frustrated. You never felt defeated by it. It was just the perfect level of challenge. Perfect terrain was really unique, and the scenery and what they call exposure out here is basically when you get out close to the cliff edges was added its own sort of flavor of excitement to it as well. So for me, it was just a perfect day on the bike. Enough jibber jabber. Let's cue some tunes and take you out for a rip. Yeah. All right, I hope you enjoyed the campsites. I hope you enjoyed the time on the bike with us, and that conveyed a little bit of just why that was such a fun day for me. Boy, I enjoyed that one. Um, Moab was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I think for me, maybe these trails in Hurricane topped it. Where are you at?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard. They're both really cool spots. Both very unique. Both really neat. And they both have that kind of slick rock, kind of grippy rock, and lots of rock, and technical ways to try things out. So I don't know. I'd kind of give it a tie.
I think that's fair. A very good time, and thanks again to Brent for the recommendation. That was well worth the stop.
Up next, we have two more national parks: Zion and Grand Canyon.
Now in Zion, we do the famous Angel's Landing hike, the very treacherous, dangerous one. We've got some very exciting GoPro footage from that you don't want to miss. Lots more action ahead in general. Hit like and subscribe. We'll see you on the trail.